Hello, everyone. It's time for Vanished Chicagoland Stars, the podcast. I'm your host, Pete Costanis. This is episode 250, season 10. Today's date is August 29th, 2023. And welcome to the show. And this is a milestone show. I'm very happy to do this. On today's program, I'm going to talk about something unusual. It's the Three Stooges, but this was hosted by a person. His name was Andy Starr, and that show aired on WGN-TV, Channel 9 in Chicago, from the late 50s to the 60s. And the man who played Andy Starr was none other than Bob Bell, the original Bozo. So I'll talk a little bit about that, and also I'll do my past posts on my Vanished Chicagoland Facebook page. So this will be a lot of fun. Right now, the program will go into a commercial break. And this program is brought to you by Chef Boyardee Roller Coasters Pasta Meal. Oh, when I saw this, I remembered it. And I ate it too. So this commercial is from the probably late 1970s. So sit back and relax and just enjoy. And I'll be right back with the program. Thank you, everyone.
Kids love roller coasters. Chef Boyardee roller coasters, because they're delicious little macaroni shaped like a roller coaster, together with juicy little meatballs in a tasty tomato sauce. They're wavy like roller coasters. They're fun like roller coasters. And kids love them like roller coasters, maybe even more. Try Chef Boyardee roller coasters. Kids love them as much as roller coasters.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Chef Boyardee roller coasters. I remember this product very well. I ate it. My mom bought it a couple times. It was good, and I think it was introduced in the late 1970s and throughout the 80s, and then they discontinued. I don't know why. Who knows? Chef Boyardee cranked out a lot of products. There was ABC 123. Their famous ones is beef macaroni, spaghetti and meatballs. Right now, believe it or not, they make SpaghettiOs, but before that was Franco-American. My brother just bought a can of that. I didn't know. When he lived on his own, he bought that and he ate it, and he thought it was delicious. I haven't had it since I was a kid. And I asked him, does it taste the same? And he says, yeah, it does. So it looked good. It really does. As for the commercial is courtesy of the Fuzzy TV Memories by Rick Klein, courtesy of him. Thank you. Here's a funny story about this product. I asked somebody on Twitter who's on WGN, none other than Marcus LaShock, who's a huge roller coaster fan. And I asked him, when you were a kid, did you have this product? And he replied, no, I never heard of this. He's laughing at me. Well, I was shocked. I really was. I thought he would eat. Eaten this back when he was back then when he was a kid. No. He thought it was hilarious, and so did I. So Chef Boyardee is still in business, cranking out wonderful products. Okay. At the beginning of the program, I said this is our milestone episode 250. I will talk about the Three Stooges show, hosted by Andy Starr, portrayed by Bob Bell, who also portrayed as Bozo Circus on Bozo Circus show on WGN-TV, Channel 9 in Chicago. Sorry about that. And So before I get started, I want to mention something. I had another milestone. My group, Van Chicagoland, hit 175,000 members. And that was yesterday, and that's wonderful. I did 150,000, I don't know, maybe about a month ago, maybe two or something like that. And a lot of people were very happy. I'm very happy. And people are still coming to be approved, to be part of the group. And it's wonderful. They still see stuff on my page, but I created a group, you know. I did that for some other milestone years ago, so why not? And you got to be careful these days. So, what I ask for people in the group is to post something that's no longer there. My favorite is like when they post family photos of them, when they were children. That's kind of cool, like that, or something obscure that I never heard of, and that's great. You get the usual posts, like Marshall Fields, Weebles. That's fine, but I draw the line sometimes on don't send me multiple posts, like 10 at a time. That's I'm inundated with that, and I've heard people complaining that that's too much because they would say, "Oh, it's the same person again that's doing this over all and doing excuse me, doing this on and on and on again." Sometimes I send a message, just slow down, take it easy, or like somebody will post something and then 3 hours later it's the same post, and I don't approve it. I just reject it because who wants to see that again? It's fine. I'm very careful. Also, I'm very careful who I select. People from Chicago or people who don't live here anymore. Sometimes you get the occasional spam and fake profiles and trolls, so you got to be very careful like that. And I do that on a daily basis. It takes time, but I enjoy it. I really do. As for the count right now, it's probably 175,100 something right now. And it's great. I'm still adding people, So one time I had to add, I'm sorry, one time when I was busy or I went out for about a couple hours, there were 300 people waiting to be approved. And then it grew, and then I was busy at home. I had to wait later on at that evening to add them. Nobody complained. I didn't hear complaints. They did complain about their post being approved because it's hanging there, and I tell them I apologize because I'm not here. Almost everyone's very understanding. They are. Some of the posts they want me to approve are very controversial and some are nasty. Oh my god! Only I see this, and I just ban the people or just delete them. I don't. Some are political. I don't allow politics in there. They don't belong. I know it's historical. I mentioned this many times, like with Richard J. Daley, with Meg Fields, and all that. But it just leads on to comments that are unacceptable, and and also leads to fighting, even to people they don't know each other. I mean, it's ridiculous. I don't want that in my group. I want a nice, clean, happy group. About let's say about 99, well, 98% of people like that. They want that. They don't want trouble. They want escapism. They don't want to see this. And so I don't approve that. If you want to post something political, go to another Facebook group. Go somewhere else. I'm sure there's others like that. Also, like Maxwell Street. I know it's historical. I like it too, but sometimes it used to be called Jewtown, and it's offensive to some people. I just can't, because I've done this like about maybe five to 10 times of this, and it leads to arguments. And I said no, that's enough. If you want me to approve a post, I will do that, but I will turn off the commentary, turn off the comments. But people still complain about that. You can't please anybody. It's hard. It's hard to be an admin on a page or a group. Sometimes it's a thankless job, but it's a good job, But I enjoy it. But well, that's how life is. And People are very happy that we reached this milestone, and they mentioned that it's one of the best groups on Facebook. They love me manning the group, and I do an excellent job. I do my best. I really do. I really do my best. I have other groups to run, but it's not as successful as this one. So, excuse me. So I try. I really try. Hopefully, we'll get to 200,000 members, and I think it'll come soon. Maybe in a month. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe 2 months. We'll see. Depending how many people want to join the group. A band in Chicagoland. You know, the fun. Do you know what's great? I love seeing friends join the group. People that I know. Also, celebrities, local celebrities. They like to join. Like newsmen, anchormen, authors. That's kind of cool. It's kind of nice. They are happy to. They are happy. I'm more than happy to invite them. They are welcome to join. And that happens almost on a daily basis, like that. So that's kind of cool. Okay, so now let's get started on this program. Babble too much. Uh, the show, the Three Stooges show, hosted by Andy Starr, that first aired on WGN-TV, Channel 9 in Chicago. Think about 1958, 59. That's when the Three Stooges stopped making shorts. And the last one was with Mo, Larry, and Joe Besser. Curly died, and then Shemp Howard took over, and then he passed away, and then Joe Besser took over, which is a shame. So they stopped. They weren't making them anymore. They used to show them in the theaters. I think right before the movies. I never went to a movie and saw them. I watched them on TV just like everyone else at my age. So they started syndicating them, and they started syndicating them on Channel 9. And they had a great idea. They had a host. They hired a host to do that, and it was Bob Bell. That's known as Bozo the Clown on Bozo Circus. This is before he started Bozo Circus. And the character's name was Andy Starr, and he was a janitor for the Odeon Theater. Yeah, he was a janitor, and he introduced the shorts, and he would tell people, well, children mostly, don't poke them in the eyes, don't slap them, don't do that. He would give them warning. Thank God for that. Just watch them, watch the Stooges, and enjoy. And there's no audio of this show, no video. I wish there was. That would be kind of cool, because I never heard how he spoke. Which is great. And, Bob Bell dressed up like an old man. He wore kind of granny glasses, black, and had gray hair, and probably talked like an old man, and I bet he was funny, I don't know what kind of voice he had. Probably different from Bozo. I'm sure it was. So he hosted a show, and he introduced the Stooges. I'm sure he introduced almost all of them, all the shorts. And, like with Mo, Larry, and Curly, also with Shemp, and also with Joe Besser. Now, my memories of this show, I think I saw maybe once or twice when I was a little boy, probably in the afternoon in the 60s. And briefly, that's the first time I got exposed to the Three Stooges. And I never gave it a second thought because I was like, 3 or 4. I didn't get it, what they were doing. Later on, I did. So, and then the show ended about 67 or 68, something like that. And then the last season, according to the Chicago Tribune, the last season had no host. They just showed the Three Stooges like that. And they continued the air on Channel 9, maybe the early 70s, I imagine. And then Bob Bell continued as Bozo. throughout to 1984 when he retired. And a lot of people remember Andy Starr, who hosted the Three Stooges on the show. And this aired on in the afternoons, like around 3:30 or 4 o'clock. I think 3:30 or so. It did air sometimes on Saturdays. Maybe I don't know if it's. I'm sure he recorded all the shows. I think he recorded all the introductions of that. He hosted another show called Comedy Club, and that show aired like silent movies, silent shorts, like Buster Keaton, maybe Laurel and Hardy, Charlie Chase, etc. He probably did that, and so I wish I'd seen the show. I wish I did. So, and then later on, the Three Stooges aired on Channel 32, WFLD TV, in the 70s. And I remember the first day when it first aired. I'm going to talk about that one day, do a podcast episode about that. The first time I really saw, and that was in the afternoon, like about 4:30. And I remember the first short. The Three Stooges was Mulder and Curly. It was called "Bird in the Hand," and that was the first one. And I got hooked, and I started laughing, and so did everyone else. A lot of people and the kids miss them, and they watch them every day. And they aired on Channel 32 for a long, long time, and then they moved to I don't know Channel 60 or Channel 50, somewhat. Now they're on MeTV, and before that they aired on 32, and I think Rich Cos plays Svengoolie, used to show them, used to host them, and sometimes he does now. No, I don't think so. But they still air right before Svengoolie on MeTV. He must be a big fan. I imagine he is. So, but the Three Stooges live on. Almost everyone loves them. Some people are offensive, especially women, but some women love them. I do too. I love that. If you need some escapism, like from everyday crap that's going on in the world, just watch the guys. They make you feel good. They make you happy. They were so talented. They were wonderful. They were great. Okay, right now I'm going to take a quick break. And when I come back, I'm going to talk about the past posts on my Van Chicagoland Facebook page. Okay, I'll be right back, folks. Thank you. Okay, everyone, I am back. So I'm going to get started with the past posts on my Van Chicagoland Facebook page. So here we go. I found on July 26th, I posted a box. It was a gift box from Kaufman's clothing store. A lot of people remember this store. There was they had a couple locations. I can't think of. Well, I know one was in Michigan Avenue. There was then, and there was another one. I think somewhere on the north side, maybe one or two. And according to some people, it had wonderful clothes, and mostly women's clothes. They had that. But when I was a kid, I used to hear about this store. Kaufman's, like that. He's also the same name as my pediatrician when I was a baby. That's what my mom told me. And so you don't find many items from Kaufman's clothing store. So I did find one on YouTube, and I posted. Not YouTube, excuse me, eBay. Getting ahead of myself. And so it's a beautiful box. So I'm glad I found it and posted it. And believe it or not, a lot of women remember this store very well. I think my age or older, they shopped there. They missed it. Okay. Next up, I posted. Well, this is a photo I posted before on my page. It's a community family center store. This was located at 4701 North Harlem Avenue in Hardwood Heights, Illinois, right near Harlem and Irving. I talked about community store in the past, and this is kind of cool. And it's from 1977. I never shopped there. I remember the one in 95th Street, west of Bridgeland. There was one there, and also, but so they went out of business like about early '80s, like that. It was just another Kmart, Walmart, Target, but something they had good products, at ideal prices. Some people didn't like it, some people did. It's up to the patrons that shop there. But it was one of those discount stores that was introduced like in the late 50s and early 60s. Like, for example, Tops, Shoppers World, later on Turnstile. There were others like that. You name it, they had it. Okay. Another item I found was very cool was a table cover from Children's Park in town. They're rare finds, and I found this on eBay, and it's kind of nice, And sometimes when Toys R Us, they changed from Children's Park in town to Toys R Us. It's still okay. I mean, it's still made a return, but I think, to Macy's department stores, not standalone stores, but Toys R Us was huge, huge, and then but a lot of them from Children's Bargain Time converted to Toys R Us. The name still stuck around for a while, so I did discuss this on a previous podcast episode, but they all do remember that disembodied head with the man with a hat, and of course the famous slogan, Bargain Town, Bargain Town, Bargain Town, like that. Okay, let's see what else. Okay, let's do. Okay, I found a picture from the Chicago Tribune on July 29th, 1983. It was a photo of Jukebox Saturday Night. It was a famous teen club like that. I went once there in Oak Forest. I went there one time. I was invited. It was during the 80s. Fun times. This was the one that was the photo that was that I found on the Chicago Tribune. It was July 29th, 1983. And this one was located at 2251 North Lincoln Avenue. And they had this Chevy, the old Chevrolet car that's sticking out of the building. They all remember that. A lot of people said they had a good time in that place. They played a lot of music. It was loud. You brought your friends, and they had a blast. They really did. Okay, let's see what else we got. One of my favorite photos is Dressel's cakes. I still post Dressel's cakes from time to time. I wish I could find more to share with you. Someday, somehow, they will be. Everyone still misses that bakery. They cranked out some wonderful products all throughout the years in Chicago. If you want the chocolate fudge cake, you can go to Wolf's Bakery in Evergreen Park on West 95th Street, west of Kedzie. They make it similar to that. I never had it, but according to some people, it's almost the same, not quite the same, but at least it's better than nothing. So, maybe some miracle will happen. Somebody will just bring it back to life, and we can have that. I don't think it'll happen. Yeah. That's a shame. Okay, and let's see what else we have. I found this interesting thing. I found a bronze sign from Litton's department store in Chicago. Oh, everyone remembers Litton's, that famous clothing store on State Street, founded by Henry Litton. They were located in Oak Park, Evanston, I think Calumet City, Oak Brook, I believe. I'm not sure about Oak Brook. I don't know. I'm not sure. I found a postcard and it lists all the locations, but it was kind of cool. And it's a beautiful sign. somebody must have grabbed it when the stores were closing. And it's on sale on eBay. I think it's still on sale. I don't know. And I posted this on August 7th. So it's kind of nice. And people were telling me on my page they had wonderful memories shopping there. Dresses, hats, uh, men's shirts, suits, ties. They sold shoes too, as I think they did. Yeah, so that's kind of nice. Okay. The other one was a picture of the State Lake Theater that was located on the corner of Lake Street and State Street in Chicago, downtown. The reason was director William Friedkin passed away. He was 87 years old, and he was most famous for directing The Exorcist, also The French Connection. And I found a picture of the marquee that shows The Exorcist. And the movie came out it's going to be, I think it's the 50th anniversary at the end of the year, around Christmas time. It's an odd time to release a horror movie. And I saw it once on TV, and that was it. I'm scared of it. That was scary. It's a good movie. It's an excellent movie, but it's horrifying. Horrifying. People love it. People don't, and a lot of people don't because they're terrified of that. But if you saw it in the theater, I bet it was very unique. Being scared like that. Ooh, that was bad. I don't know how the book was. I have no idea like that. But William Friedkin did a good job of directing it. He was from Chicago. He graduated from Senn High School up north. He worked as in the mailroom at WGN-TV Channel 9 in Chicago, according to his biography. So that's a shame. He seemed like a nice guy. Okay. Okay. Let's see what else. Here's something I found. Here's something I found very cool. I found a sign from the Agar Meatpacking Company, and Agar them used to make Agar ham, Agar bacon, all kinds of like bologna, all kinds of deli meat, and all that. And they had a huge company here in Chicago at one time. And I never done a podcast episode about it. Excuse me, about the company. I will maybe soon. And the founder's son, that was John Agar. He was an actor. He starred in a lot of movies, like that. And they were located in, I think, maybe the back of the Yards neighborhood or Bridgeport, around that area. That's where their headquarters were. And they were in business for a long time. I think they stopped around maybe the 80s, mid 80s or something like that. So that sign I found in eBay and I posted it. Oh, that looked beautiful. According to one person, told me that this kind of sign you would find on Hilo Foods. And I believe them. I think you do. You do. I remember seeing signs like that. So that's nice. It really is nice. Okay. Also, I posted a photo. This is one of my favorite photos. It's, of course, Hilo Foods that was located at 9435 Southwestern Avenue. I used it for a cover photo. I miss this store. So do a lot of people. It was run by Mrs. Ronnie, one of the few women that ran a company at the time like that. My mom used to shop this store in South Shore. She used to do that when we lived there. And they had the 10-cent cans up front. And remember the Hilo flyer, the red wagon? Yeah, it's kind of nice like that. And they had a lot of locations in the Chicagoland area. And I have a Facebook page of that. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Here's something I found courtesy of the Libertyville Historical Society Facebook page. It's a picture of a Yankee Doodle Dandy restaurant that was located at 327 South Milwaukee Avenue in Libertyville. And this is from the mid 1970s, and it's in black and white. It's kind of cool. Looks nice like that. And of course I credited him, but That was nice. And a lot of people miss the Dandy Burgers, and they used to held birthday parties for kids like that. And yeah, I did a podcast episode about them. So, like I said before, it was a nice photo. Okay, was. Of course, August 16th was National Roller Coaster Day. What else would Van Chicagoland do is post a photo of the famous Bob's roller coaster that was at Riverview Park in Chicago. But this photo I found of the Bob's, I never seen it before. So I figured I would do this to commemorate that special day. And it was nice. It's a nice photo of that. It's black and white. I love to see color ones. I really do. And so anyone who loves riding a roller coaster, that was their day. And a few people I know love doing that. Okay. Next up, here's an item from Bozo's Circus. It was like a sort of a paper holder or something like that. He had Bozo in his red suit, not his blue suit, banging on a drum saying Bozo Circus. What's special about this, it's autographed by the stars of the show. You have Bob Bell as Bozo, Ned Locke as Ringmaster Ned, Oliver Oliver, played by Ray Rayner, and also Sandy the Clown, played by Don Sandberg. So that's kind of rare because it's autographed, and they were given out when you went to the show at the start, like in around 61, 62. So it was great. You get all kinds of cool. I know there were buttons, and you get pictures, you get the autographs, but this is nice. Okay, and let's see what else. Oh, another item I put. I found a picture of a landline telephone, and it was yellow, and it looked just like the one in the kitchen in my old house in the Ashburn neighborhood. And I go, oh, this reminds me of days when I was a kid, and when that thing rang, and you would run to the kitchen and say, I'll get it. That's when we moved in 1974. But we also installed another phone in the basement. Okay. That one was beige, like that. You had the long cord and like that. And also, eventually we installed a phone in my parents' bedroom. They didn't do that at the time. I don't know why, because when the phone rang, sometimes over in the middle of the night, because we had relatives in Greece calling, they didn't know the time difference. My mom would run to the kitchen, grab it, and answer it, wake up the whole house like that. And so, but a lot of people, most people still have landlines. I still have mine. I still do. It's not bad. I use my iPhone, but my mother still uses hers. So she's not a cell phone fan. So that's good. I like the clarity of it. You hear very well with it. You really do. Okay. Let's see what else we got. I think that's it. I'm not sure. Yeah, I found a plastic bag from Goldblatt's department store. What's unusual about this bag was in the back of it shows all the locations of the Goldblatt's department stores in the Chicagoland area, also in Indiana. What's funny about this, they don't show the location of downtown, so I think it was closed by the time this was available, something like that. So they had a few locations on north and south. The one nearby my old house was at 79th Street in Cicero, in the Scottsdale shopping plaza, like that. So that was kind of nice to see a bag like that. All right, next up, I found something unusual. This is from Jay's Potato Chips. It's still around, but not in Chicago. This was Jay's Atomic Popping Corn, or Atomic Popping Corn. I sort of remembered this. So you would just buy this and make some popcorn at home, and you put it in your automatic popcorn popper, and you enjoy yourself. So this is a rare item, And I asked people, do they remember this? Few people did, few they do. They remember Okie Dokie, but this was like popping corn. So I don't know how long that was around. I have no idea. No. Also, about a few days ago, 40 years ago, that on that day, on August  24th, 1983, Cubs Foods opened their first store. I don't know if it's his first store in Chicago, probably. And this opened right across the street from Fort City Mall. And the address was 7600 South Cicero Avenue. That's what it says on the ad. I had a beef with somebody and a few people that said, "No, I wasn't there. It was north of there," and all that. Well, they got to check the geography. And believe this was right now. It's a Best Buy store. I go there sometimes. So I liked the store. I really did. My mom missed this store. She didn't care for the meat, but she loved the produce. She really did. She loved the produce there, and it came in bulks. I remember the barrels and all that. It was a cool store. It's still in business. I think there's one in Freeport, Illinois, up north, and maybe it's closed, maybe it's not. I don't know. I know they're in Minnesota. That's where their headquarters are, and they're still around. They should have brought them back, because it was great. It really was. Okay. Also, I posted like what kind of pizza place you missed the most when you were a kid. My favorite one of them was Luigi's Pizzeria. It was located at 8512 South Pulaski Road in Chicago. That's right. Right now it's a Conti's Pizza. That pizza used to be good. When we were kids, we used to order there sometimes. When that left, then we stick to Angie's Pizza. It's still there. And also the famous one, Vito and Nick's. They don't deliver. You have to go you either call and you have to pick it up, and they don't accept credit cards. That's kind of nice. Yeah, I went there a few months ago when I was interviewed for Chicago Magazine. That was great. The pizza was awesome, but Luigi's was delicious. Oh, it was good. It was in business for a long time. And that ad had the famous prefix with the letters on it. Ludlow 2-Ford 111. Okay. Let's see what else. I think that's it. I think this is the last thing. I found an item on eBay. It was a box of automatic dishwasher detergent from Sears and had the famous Sears logo from the 60s. That was kind of cool. Like that. Sears pumped out a lot of products, for their own like that. And I never saw this before, but it looked familiar. I had a familiar feeling about that, but I figured why not? I post this, and a lot of people liked it. They really did. Okay. So that's it. Okay, that is all. That is all. So that is all for this episode, for this milestone, episode 250. I'll do a recap of what I talked about. I talked about the Three Stooges show hosted by Andy Starr that was portrayed by Bob Bell that aired on WGN-TV, Channel 9 in Chicago. Also, I talked about my past posts on Van Chicagoland page. This podcast will be published later on today, wherever podcasts are available. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, also Breaker, Overcast. I found out that the app Stitcher is no longer around. I got to check it out. Maybe they got a new one or it's been discontinued because I received an email about them. We'll see. Also, it'll be posted on YouTube. On Van Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. Please subscribe. Also on the apps that I mentioned, hit the subscribe button. You will get a notification of the new episode. Also, it'll be posted on my blog, vanchicagoland.blog, and also on my social media accounts, Facebook, Twitter, or X. That's what it is now. And I post on Instagram and Threads, so you can just copy the link, and it'll take you right there. Okay. So this is, I don't know when I'll do another podcast episode. That depends. Next weekend, it's going to be hot from what I heard. We'll see. I probably will do one. We'll see about that. It's Labor Day weekend. I wish it would be nice because everyone goes away. They barbecue. It's a lot of fun. Okay, this is Pika Sanchez, your host for Van Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. Thank you for joining me. I had a wonderful time. It's this episode is a little long, maybe about 39, 40 minutes. I apologize for that. So thank you again for joining me for this episode. I had a good time. So here's Ray Rayner with a little traveling music saying bye, bye, bye. Take care, everyone, and everyone have a good day.
We have to go. Bye, bye, bye.